my name is Jenny. You found my channel called Senior Perspective. I'm glad you did. Today we're going to be talking about some answers Christine gave about her life, especially in relation to Cody. So let's get started. Oh, I love this topic. Yes, I love this topic. This is all about why Cody should be bowing down and kissing the feet and the ground that Christine walks on. Let's talk about it. Why does Cody owe everything to Christine? Well, here's why. About 14 years into their marriage, Christine was involved in a group that had a representative from each one of the different sects of the AUB. So, Christine is involved in this group where there's one person from all the local sects in the area that would go around together and they would talk about their church, their beliefs, and kind of help promote polygamy in a way, but they really came from it more at the angle of educating about it. So they would go to places like hospitals to help the hospitals understand what the dynamic of a polygamous family is like in terms of who could visit and who, and the legal ramifications, et cetera, because if they've never dealt with it before, they would probably be like, I don't know, what are we supposed to do here? So they went and educated on that. Christine said they also went to news outlets. They went to local news outlets. Not only local, they were on the BBC. So this group would go and talk about their faith. They talk about their religion. And she was part of this group, which also went to New York and did a pilot show about polygamy. I don't know what it looked like. I don't know if it was like a Q&A kind of show. I don't know if it was like a pilot of each person gets highlighted. There was no information on that. Maybe you know about it. You can write about it down below.
So I was involved in a group of people who represented polygamy to the outside world. So there was like a couple people from each of the polygamous sects in Utah. And we would go and speak to hospitals and the news and different channels. We were on BBC, we were on different things. And then we did like a pilot show in New York. So we had done some things.
But they were very active in terms of getting the word out and getting out to the world. So this wasn't new to Christine really at all in terms of getting out and admitting that she is a polygamist. I don't understand why. Even after watching this interview, I still cannot put my finger on why that was okay. I'll explain why she said it was okay, but it still doesn't make sense to me. So after the pilot episode was broadcast, and apparently the pilot wasn't picked up, but this producer somehow got his hands on the pilot, was interested and contacted Christine, who was very interested in doing a documentary on their family. And she went ahead and passed his name on to Cody, because Cody's the head of the family, even though Christine's doing all the work and the legwork for this.
And so I was contacted through that. Our producer now, he contacted me and we started talking, and then I referred him to Cody and they started talking about doing a show.
So Cody takes credit. When you listen to him on Mormonism Live on that interview, he 100% takes credit and gives Christine zero credit. From what I remember, I honestly do not remember him mentioning Christine's name at all. I'm sure it would have stood out because I would not have known that information. He takes full credit for getting Sister Wives off the ground.
Holy cow. In 2007, the story starts out like this. I stepped on a stage.
Their triumphant rewriting of history.
In a demo reel for a talk show in New York City with my seven oldest children and 3 wives that I had at that time. And it just felt like there was an experience when I stepped on that stage to basically tell people about my life. It was as simple as this. I felt a sort of a sense of a calling.
Wait, there's more.
I felt like, in absolute terms, this is what I'm supposed to do. It was a weird experience because I didn't know. And 2 years later, I found myself in a reality show.
He said he went and talked to the producers. There you go. I mean, maybe he did go talk to the producer, but the producer reached out, contacted Christine, said he was interested in her life and her family, and she, the dutiful wife, passed it on to Cody as the head of their family and said, work this out. Because, of course, it would involve the whole family. Now, at that time, Christine agrees with what we heard Cody say on Mormonism Live, and that is they were not interested in doing a documentary. They wanted an ongoing show, and that's because they felt, true or not, they felt that an ongoing weekly show...
It's like, look, when you're a polygamist, you can't just do a documentary showing your whole polygamous life because it was a felony back then.
On a network channel would have more opportunity to really show their lives. Of course, side note, we remember what Cody said about people questioning his life. Well, you've only seen 10 hours of my life. Well, 10 hours is like watching a 4-episode documentary, so...
Kody and Robyn, I think it's awesome that you guys found each other and just want to be together. I think you should own it and just say that. Well, Jeff, I think you're a victim of 20 hours of our life versus 365 days.
He was being nice.
If it's true that we don't get to know him that well from 10 hours, then the whole I won't do a documentary story is a lie, and he just wanted to be on network television. All right, that was a sidestep. Let's go back. So he's talking with the producer, and Christine's explaining the story. She said she agrees. She's worried if they do a documentary that everyone will lose their jobs because polygamy was still a felony in the state. Yet, if they're on your television for an hour every single week, they're not going to lose their jobs. I think this is Cody's warped mind and how he tried to manipulate into getting more airtime. And I think Christine just went along with it because it makes no sense to me. But they believe that by doing the ongoing show with multiple episodes, because you show more of the family and more of their situation, that the government officials are going to have softer hearts, I guess. I mean, the law is the law. You're breaking the law or you're not breaking the law. You want to go public so that the government officials know what you're doing, or you don't. It's very simple.
So he just wanted a documentary. It's like, look, when you're a polygamist, you can't just do a documentary showing your whole polygamous life because it was a felony back then. And I'm like, we'll lose our jobs. You can't do that. So me going public by myself was fine. I never used my last name or anything like that. But us going public as a family, we would have lost our jobs. And we did. I mean, we had to move because of this threat of like the state threatened or like the county threatened us.
And Christine had no problem going public. It would not be that difficult for them to track down and find out who is she in a polygamous relationship with. So the fact that was okay, and the show's okay, but a documentary, not okay. Makes no sense. Make it make sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And I'm disappointed because this is Christine retelling the story. It's the same story that Cody told on Mormonism Live.
Then in order to get a fair shake as a polygamist family, we would have to allow people into our homes. We met a documentary filmmaker. He said he wanted to do a documentary, and I said, no way, man. If you can't farm us out to a network where we're going to be, every Wednesday night on television, we ended up being in Sunday night, which is their big night. If we can't be there every night, let those people into our home and see us in our real and raw way, we'll never get their trust.
But I feel like she is still living in some brainwashed parts of her life from all those years of essentially living a cultish life. And she bowed down to Cody for all those years until she didn't at the very end. We really have Robyn to thank for the freedom of Christine and Janelle and Mary. I'll remember that the next time I'm really hard on Robyn. talk about how much I hate her. Like, wait a minute. If there was no Robyn, the three of them would still be living probably in Lehi, Utah in that same house under the tutelage of Cody and his demanding, controlling, angry ways. God forbid. They're free. Okay. So to wrap this up, one of the questions that Heather asked Christine was, were you familiar with the format of reality TV? And did you watch a bunch of it? And Christine basically said, no, they didn't really watch much television at all, but they did watch American Idol.
I went in without I didn't know anything. I didn't really watch a lot of reality TV. We'd watched American Idol. But that was about it. We loved American Idol.
So when the cameras started and when the whole production began, they were all kind of amazed and blindsided by it all. Side note. Christine has said multiple times that they did become fearful even though they were on the TLC show, so I guess that philosophy didn't work. Although nobody came and arrested them. I don't think anybody ever would have. I think most of it was in their minds. Maybe a plant seeded by the producers of TLC, or maybe just Cody being the frantic, frenetic kind of personality that he is, and he hears one thing of something, he's like, make it a move. Although I also know that a lot of Robyn's family, her dad, her stepdad, and her sister lived in Vegas. So that's where they ended up. Isn't that funny?
What a coincidence.
He claims they moved to Vegas because it was a very accepting community, which is the exact reason why they had to leave Vegas and go to Flagstaff, because it wasn't an accepting community and it wasn't safe for their kids.
That's a different story altogether.
The man can't keep his story straight. So in the end, they got themselves worked up and scared over the fear of being arrested. Well, I don't know. I just don't even know what to say about it anymore. Christine was going out on the BBC and did a pilot in New York that was going to be an ongoing show. And that was okay, and there was no fear involved. A documentary would be horrible. They're sure to go to jail if they do a documentary. But an ongoing weekly episode on TLC is okay. Make it make sense. In terms of talking about the show, I just want to wrap it up with this. Christine said that one part of being on the show that she didn't expect at all is that it's so incredibly humbling because she gets so many wonderful comments from people that are not only encouraging to her, but basically are saying something that you said or something that you did. I don't think it's living polygamy, but I think something on the show resonated with these people and it completely turned their lives around.
We were blown away. It was overwhelming that people accepted us. Heather, honestly, we were really putting ourselves out there because to us, the whole outside world was scary. And I've just been blown away by the support. So much support and so many people that have reached out and said that something that we did or said touched their life and touched their soul and helped them. How overwhelming is that? I don't know if it's like any other reality TV show. I don't know. I just know my experience in it has been humbling because people are always like, what you said touched my soul. What you said inspired me. And it's been overwhelming completely.
And she didn't expect to have that kind of an impact on people. Absolutely. I mean, who would? We're doing a television show here. We're not saving lives. But maybe they actually did. There could have been something she said. I don't think living the polygamous lifestyle really had such a massive impact and positivity on people's lives. But who knows? Maybe somebody came to the realization and is very happy living in polygamy right now. But I think it's more so maybe Christine having opinions and standing up for herself. And maybe it's the way she loves all those kids, the way she shows unconditional love to all of the children. I don't know. But we wrap up this topic with her talking about that. So that's nice. All right. Are you as confused as I am on this topic? I feel like I want to sit down with Christine and do an interview for 2 hours and just talk about this. I think there needs to be so much more probing going on. And then I could do 3 hours on every other topic that's on my mind because I have so many questions. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy some of the short form content. It'll allow me to get out to you more frequently. And I'll be back soon with another topic that was covered in this Heather McDonald podcast. Have a great day.
That was fun.